Thank you for tuning in to tonight's game. Your game is coming up next. But here's some information from the Indiana High School Athletic Association.
6 easy ways to become an MVP. And by MVP, we mean most valuable parent. Like all of us, the parents of high school athletes tend to protect their children from adversity, or they overly involve themselves by advocating for their success. But when they do, they're negating the value of participating in high school sports. Among other lessons, high school sports teach teenagers to take nothing for granted, how to overcome obstacles, and that an extraordinary commitment of time and effort is required in order to reach goals and experience achievement. High school sports also encourage independence and self-sufficiency, attributes that are needed to be successful in life. It's natural for parents to love their children, and it's important to support them in as many ways as possible. With this in mind, here are 6 easy ways that you can be the MVP of your child's high school team. Number 1, attend your children's games as often as possible. Nothing demonstrates interest and involvement more than being there. And be sure to invite Grandma and Grandpa to come along with you. Number 2, cheer for all the kids on the team, not just your own. Here's a test for you. Do you know all the players on your child's team? Could you say hello to them by their first name? Embracing the entire team is a great way to show that your interest is sincere. Number 3, be a resource for your child's team. Does a teammate need help with transportation? Is the team trying to raise money for new uniforms? Is someone needed to organize a pizza party before the tournament starts? Maybe you can help. Number 4, try not to criticize the coach or the officials in front of your child. Hey, you're human, and there may be times when you need to vent. But be careful when and to whom you do it. Criticizing the coaching staff undermines its credibility and tends to put your child in the middle. And games are seldom won or lost because of an official's call. Remember, coaches and officials are objective. Most parents are not. Empower your child to talk with the coach about concerns. Everybody wants more playing time, and understandably so. But encourage your children to have that conversation with their coaches instead of you doing it for them. Giving teenagers the confidence and conviction to speak up for themselves is one of the greatest benefits of participating in high school sports. Number 6, focus on the life lessons your children are learning, not on win-loss records or how many points they're scoring. According to the NC2A, only about 2% of all high school athletes win a sports scholarship, and the average value of it is less than $11,000. But every child will benefit from the lessons they've learned as a result of participating in high school sports for the rest of their lives. It's difficult being the parent of a high school athlete. There's far more emotion and social pressure involved than is ideal. But if you follow these 6 pointers, not only will your children love and respect you, but so will their teammates and coaches. And you might even be named MVP. Thank you for your support of high school athletics in Indiana. Stay tuned now. The Indiana SRN game is next. Indiana SRN, where you're always in the game.
Good evening, everyone. What a beautiful sight this is. This is not the varsity game. This is the JV game. I'm Jonathan Mathis alongside Drake Wally, and we're happy that you're joining us here on Golden Eagle TV, powered by Indiana SRN. The junior varsity game is still yet to wrap up, and we're going to join them in progress and just soak in some live sports here in Indiana. We'll be back for the varsity game. Don't go anywhere. We'll check out this JV game and enjoy some of their athletic excellence.
Nice shot and pass. Substitutions for both squads. Xander George, Joe Higgins on the field.
How does a good man become even better? By working out? Or by working his way up the corporate ladder? By changing his diet? Or by changing his style? By traveling the world? Or by staying perfectly still? For 300 years, we've helped good men become the best versions of themselves through a dedicated fraternity and by taking an oath to live a life of integrity, service, and brotherly love. Men who are as committed to each other and their families as they are to our noble cause. In the end, we don't just make men better, we make them Masons. Not just a man, a Mason.
Shot by Xander, just wide to right. Charlie Horvath, nice shot, just wide. Matt Dunlap.
Good evening, folks. If you're just tuning in, you have found the right spot. This is Golden Eagle TV, powered by Indiana SRN. This is, however, not the varsity game, still the JV, and we're joining them in progress to finish out this game as we await the beginning of the varsity game. But it is nice to see the live sports here in Indiana, so we will continue joining this game as we prepare for the varsity game, and then we'll join you for live commentary during the varsity one here on Indiana SRN.
Our family has been very happy working with Wallflower Pictures.
Because they make sure that I get the acting skills that I need in this industry and the education that I need.
Wallflower Pictures supports UV's journey in the industry. They're very passionate about his growth, and they're very professional and attentive to our needs.
And I truly believe in the projects I've worked on, like For the Boys and The Walk.
We love working with Wallflower Pictures.
If you do not want to miss any games here on Indiana SRN, we got a lot coming up. You can just follow us on YouTube. Go to our website at indianasrn.org. But you'll be able to watch this live. You can watch these on delay. You can watch them whenever, and we hope you will. And we're going to continue watching the JV game finish. It looks like it's going pretty well for Guerin Catholic. But we will join in for the varsity game in about 6.5 minutes' time with our pregame and live commentary. So continue to enjoy the game, and we'll be back with you for the varsity.
Jennings on the play. Charlie Horvath to take the kick. Here's some drama for you. With the PK.
Well, she keeps talking to me, and you're talking to me, and sometimes it's easier.
by Ramon Mendez. Final score, Golden Eagle 7, Cardinal Ritter 0.
No, thank you. I got it. Good to see you. Oh, wait, what's this? Well, this is your phone. Oh.
Good evening, everyone. Now we saw the Guerin Catholic defeat Cardinal Ritter's junior varsity team 7-0. We prepare for the varsity contest. We got about 15 minutes or so before the actual kickoff. I'm Jonathan Mathis alongside as Drake Wally, but we'll go ahead and join in for a little pregame commentary. Drake, it's good to be back with you. It's good to be back ready for sports here in high school sports here in Indiana, and really this is the first night of athletics on Indiana SRN. We have 2 volleyball games going on at the same time, but our main show tonight here, Guerin Catholic boys soccer against the Cardinal Ritter Raiders.
And it's just going to be an exciting game. You've got 6 against 5, and you've got the story of last year's opening game, and Guerin Catholic, edging them out 3-0. But more importantly, is that sectional game that just tells so many stories and so much was happening, and it's just no better matchup you could really ask for for the first soccer game of Indiana SRN of the year than this one.
Yeah, this is a matchup where both teams enter the season looking for redemption of sorts, and they both have a bone to pick. Guerin more loosely with just everyone. They're kind of on a revenge season. They did not like how they were bounced from the playoffs last year against Evansville Memorial, a game they thought they should have won, could have won, and lo and behold, the team that did win that matchup went on to win state. So if you fell just that short and you thought you should have won, then you can see yourself realistically as could have been a state champion. Cardinal Ritter, their beef came in their sectional against Guerin. So they felt they should have beat Guerin, and they felt they should have been moving on, and that was a very competitive game. Guerin won just 1-0, as opposed to the 3-0 blowout earlier to begin the season. And part of that was just it's some fair play. It was trying to keep things fresh, but Cardinal Ritter knew Guerin was a new sectional opponent, and they adjusted their lineup so they weren't playing their very best players in that game, and the score reflects it. But now we'll see what happens. You got some familiarity between these two teams, and Guerin Catholic they believe they're a state championship contender, and Cardinal Ritter too. And if you have both teams, as you said, both ranked not only in the top 10 but in the top 6, then this will be a good touchstone to see who is where when at least at this point in the season.
Well, and just to go based off of what you said, they know each other so well. And, after having an entire season to basically start the year facing each other, and then one team ends the year facing the same team they started the year with. So it's just a heck of a rivalry, and, you're going to see Bashir Barani for Cardinal Ritter, wonderful coach, and Chris McGrath. Both have these programs going in the right direction, and the senior leadership for Guerin Catholic is definitely something that you can't overlook. And but there's also quite a few playmakers for Cardinal Ritter, so this is just going to be an exciting matchup. And as I said, to reiterate, just a heck of a way to start off the year.
There will be some familiarity for Guerin and on the actual field part of the team. But there is some changeover. They do not return their leading goal scorer, and they're in a change in the goal, too. They graduate to pretty fantastic players.
Yeah, and one of the things that you have to do is essentially with all of these underclassmen, you got to be able to step up. It's next man up, next year up, and with all of the stuff that's been happening, they're just ready to go, raring to go, and get out there and play some soccer.
So for Guerin Catholic, we'll have a couple home games here in Indiana SRN. They obviously tonight is. Then next Tuesday they go to Heritage Christian. Then we'll be back with them on Thursday when they host Fishers, and then several road games. They play Brebeuf on the same day, a couple hours apart. That is in a couple Saturdays' time. Cardinal Ritter will begin here, and then they're going to travel. Or they'll travel back home. They'll be home against Bishop Chatard, Speedway, and Tri-West. But first things first, Cardinal Ritter Guerin Catholic tonight here on Indiana SRN, and you're watching Golden Eagle TV, powered by Indiana SRN.
Life comes at you fast, so it's important to have some help along the way.
Ah, my favorite patient. Ah, my favorite patient.
When the dust settles, it doesn't always end as anticipated. Embrace the journey and care for the ones around you.
My favorite patient.
For everything else and every stage in between,
my favorite patient.
Methodist Sports Medicine is here for you.
Good evening, everyone. And if you'd like to see this game anytime, anywhere, at any point in the day, you can follow us on YouTube, subscribe to our channel, and we'll be able to join in for all our games, including this one and our volleyball games also going on tonight. Franklin Central at Heritage Christian, Hamilton Heights at Guerin Catholic. That's going on the same campus, though not the same location, obviously. We're on a separate campus, too. This is a first for Indiana SRN. We have a remote studio that we'll be joining you in. And this is going to be exciting for us, and a great opportunity to be able to join you and broadcast this game, and also exciting for these two teams. Drake Wally, where do you think both of these two teams are at going into the season, and what's their makeup? What do you think they're going to be looking forward to tonight?
Well, and speaking of forward, we'll easily start with Guerin Catholic. It's something that we kind of discussed before. We got on live here, is that they have so many forwards. They're definitely going to be pressing the ball. They're going to be pressing the attack, moving forward, trying to dominate possession. And then I think from Cardinal Ritter, you have obviously 4 captains, which is that's pretty wonderful that you have that much leadership. But a lot more defense. Midfielders are going to be playing, and obviously these are interchangeable positions, or can be in the game of soccer. But I see Cardinal Ritter trying to stifle that attack from Guerin Catholic, play more of a defensive game, and Guerin Catholic trying to push.
When we look at where both of these two teams are, they're in the same sectional as each other. Last year, you kind of spoke on this. If you'd say more, the offense for both teams, quite prolific. They had some big games.
Yeah, and it's not directly in front of me, but they had a couple games, Guerin Catholic especially, where there was a 13-0, 11-0 type performance, and those were in the postseason. It's going to be what they're going to continue to try to do. 3.5 points per game last year, 77 points scored in 22 games. That's definitely something you can brag about, with 7 shutouts and 27 points in the playoffs. That's not something that can't get unnoticed. But then on the other end, Cardinal Ritter, 2.5 points a game. They allowed less than a single point a game, which is remarkable. 8 shutouts. So you've got, I think, defense focus versus offense focus, and that's always going to make a great game. So it should be exciting to see which one of those two philosophies wilts before the other one succeeds.
On Cardinal Ritter's side, you have a couple players who've played some significant varsity. Now on Guerin, it's definitely a lot more. Cardinal Ritter, their most experienced player is Chris Murray. This will be his 54th game he's starting. But for Guerin, you have a great advantage of significant experience.
Well, and you've also got there's a kid here I wanted to mention is you've got one of the sophomores is Jose Castro. He's a captain and midfielder on the team. And
that's him right there, actually.
Yeah, there we go. It's actually it's kind of interesting that we've got so much senior leadership on one end, underclassmen on the other. So you've got Guerin here kind of ready to see what all these seniors can do for 2020. And then I think that Cardinal Ritter obviously wants to have a strong 2020, but you also got to think about the future too. They've got some underclassmen that are coming up in the ranks and are playing varsity here today, so it's going to be exciting to see where they can take the team in 2020. But yeah, it should be really cool to see where this game goes.
A little less than 6.5 minutes till opening kickoff, and what an exciting awaited day. And we will await one more commercial break, and then we'll join you back and get you set for kickoff here for Guerin Catholic and Cardinal Ritter on Golden Eagle TV, powered by Indiana SRN.
Life Centers offers love and compassion to all women and men who come through our 8 centers. The goal of this love and compassion is that we would not only save babies from abortion, but also transform lives and create families. The forms of this love and compassion are our services. All of our services are offered free of charge to our clients. To learn more about Life Centers, contact us at lifecenters.com or call us at 317-280-2635. Life Centers. We choose compassion.
Guerin Catholic, soccer, volleyball, football. All things Indiana SRN you can see on our YouTube channel. Click subscribe, and you can follow these games whenever you'd like. Live, tape delayed, however you'd like to consume your sports. We'd love to have you join us. And we're happy to have you join us tonight. The weather for tonight's game is perfect. It's in the low 70s. It's mostly sunny. The wind is out of the northwest at 8 miles an hour. That's not going to be much of a factor. Neither is the precipitation. There is no chance of rain. It is perfect here in Noblesville, Indiana, here on the campus of Guerin Catholic. Drake, Wally, each team, what do you think their biggest challenge is going to be for this game? Obviously not the weather, but when they're competing against each other and they're friendly, or at least they're familiar is the word I should look for. But there's a little rivalry brewing. We talked to a couple of the captains for both teams, and one of them, he will remain nameless for Cardinal Ritter. I asked him if he was looking for some revenge, and he said, yep.
Well, I think that if you're talking about Cardinal Ritter's biggest challenge, it's going to be overcoming the senior leadership and the offensive attack of Guerin Catholic. Just so much experience on that field. They understand the game plan very well. But then I think Guerin Catholic's biggest challenge is going to be trying to penetrate the defense. And, we also talked about Jose Chavez a little bit and kind of what, the coach Bashir Barani mentioned, as you have here, the complete player you want to have on your team. So that's going to be somebody that they're going to be looking to stop. Multiple challenges, obviously, for both teams, but I would say those are two of the most definitive for this game.
Let's take a little look at the tail of the tape for these two teams. Entering this season, now this is more stats from the end of last year, but I think still quite prescient as we look forward. Last year, Guerin Catholic averaged 33.5 goals per game. Cardinal Ritter 2.4. Both are pretty solid numbers. Goals allowed is quite impressive for the Raiders. 0.8. Guerin Catholic had a decently respectable 1.4, but if you can outscore it 2-1, which is what Guerin did, that helps a lot of things. Clean slate wins. Guerin 7, Cardinal Ritter 8. Scoreless losses, getting shut out. Guerin Catholic, that happened to them twice, and Cardinal Ritter 4 times. And then last year, Guerin Catholic ended the last 5 games. This happens when you have a deep playoff run, but they went 4-1 in their last 5 games, and Ritter 3-2. So when they're coming off of this season, we said this a little bit earlier, but you're trying to get redemption for what you felt was wronged, and Guerin Catholic's wronging came late in the postseason, and Cardinal Ritter's came early at the hands of Guerin Catholic. But it's something where both teams are going to try to prove themselves against each other, and Ritter might have a little extra motivation in that capacity, just because who they felt did them wrong was Guerin, for lack of a better turn of phrase.
Yeah, and going back to what the point you made, I know that we want to highlight the happenings here for the game, but Cardinal Ritter definitely, I think, has a little bit more of the chip, the chip on their shoulder, because they didn't even really get much of a chance to participate in the playoffs, and this was the team that kind of got them from there, and so it's going to be I think a little bit of a game of emotion, but there's going to be different game plans now because of the simple fact that you have a new roster. Seniors have graduated from last year. You know, one of them, as you mentioned, was Aiden here, who was he was actually the goalkeeper for Guerin.
Yeah, Aiden Parkus, his younger brother's still on the team, so they got that lived memory between them.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see what the new the new blood, if you will, the fresh blood here will actually be instituting in the game against each other. It's a whole new rivalry. I mean, it's a school rivalry, obviously, Ritter versus Catholic, but I think every single year you've got new players leading the team, so it gets renewed every year. So it's going to be really interesting to see how Cardinal Ritter, especially Cardinal Ritter, comes out.
We're going to run through the starting lineups very briefly as we get ready for the opening part of the game. Drake Wall, you want to give this a go?
Absolutely. We'll go ahead and start with Cardinal Ritter. We've got number 1, Osvaldo Carlos, goalkeeper, sophomore. We have number 2, Luis Hernandez, defense midfielder. Number 4, Zach Martin, defense. Number 6, Junior Gomez, defense midfielder. Number 7, team captain Jose Castro, midfielder. Number 8, Amon Fichet, defense. Number 10, Chris Murray, team captain midfielder. Got that mixed up like last time. Number 11, captain Victor Cervantes, defense midfielder. Number 17, the 4th captain on the team, Jose Chavez, midfielder. Number 20, Octavio Hernandez Rangel, midfield defense. And then, of course, number 21, Paulo Rodriguez, forward. And then on the other side, we have Guerin Catholic. Number 00 is Alex Gardner, goalkeeper. Number 3 is Joseph Lafioska, forward. Number 4 is Ethan Mason, midfielder. Number 5, Mattia Bernaco, defense. Number 7, Ethan Cabotage, midfielder, also team captain. Number 8, Tommy Hardman, forward. And then the second team captain is number 10, Ethan Thornberg, midfield. Number 11, Matthew Wright, midfield. Number 14, Evan Miller, forward. Number 15, Peter Bedford, defense. And then, of course, number 17, Peter Hall, defense.
Number 3, Joseph Lafioska.
Got a whole lot of captains in this game. It's going to be a lot of leadership. 4 captains for Ritter, 2 for Guerin Catholic, seniors, juniors. It's going to be one heck of a game. We've got a rivalry here. Really excited.
Number 10, Ethan Thornberg. Number 11, Matthew Wright. Number 14, Evan Miller. Number 15.
All right, folks. 40 minutes on the clock.
And in goal, 00, Alex Gardner.
So we wait the first touch of the game, first touch of the season. Ritter will have the honors. And it looks to be the forward, Luis Hernandez, sophomore.
Everybody will stand and face the flag.
As we wait for the anthem.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Last and certainly not least, we'll do our pregame prayer, and then we will kick off. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. God our Father, as we prepare for competition, we pause to take time to thank you for this day. We are especially grateful that we are able to gather here in your name and celebrate all the gifts you have bestowed upon our student athletes and coaches. We also thank you for the support of our students, parents, fans, and the sacrifice of time of our officials. We pray that this event is safe from harm and injury. May all gathered here be a good example of sportsmanship and Christian charity. We pray for these things in your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen. St. Theodore Guerin, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
And the 2020 soccer season for the gentlemen has begun and played into the deep portion of the Guerin defense. Guerin able to corral it. And now we'll see what the Golden Eagles are able to do. Cardinal Ritter seemed like they kind of wasted an opportunity there, Drake. Not playing it too conservatively as Guerin quick on the counterattack. Cardinal Ritter just having to play it back out to the side.
Yeah, they got the possession very quickly, and you know they took it pretty fast and got it, down the field for the most part. Weren't really able to create any opportunities with it, but we'll see what happens with Ritter's possession.
Hartman had played it back to one of his teammates, and now it's forward and this ping pong gesture in the middle of the field. We'll see. This is kind of where you expect maybe Guerin's experience able to outclass Ritter's relative inexperience as Peter Hall plays this forward to one of the Guerin captains, Cavitage. He was able to keep the ball in play barely, and he plays it towards the middle, which is plucked away by Ritter.
Thornberg had a really nice possession over there, but it got taken away by Ritter, so now we're going to see if they can take advantage of this, and already Guerin Catholic got it back.
Not even 2 minutes in, a chance for Guerin, but not able to get enough on it was Lafioska.
First game of the season, you're bound to see some faux pas and some mistakes, and they're going to be more prevalent now than for the rest of the year. So should be interesting to see how everyone gets over that adversity.
That was Bedford aggressive with the header. Tommy Hartman plays it in. He was trying to get it to Cavitage, but it had to be dropped back, and now Guerin showing their patience as they try to reverse the field, but just too wide.
That was a little too far for Peter Hall to get a header on that and keep it in bounds. Ritter possession.
For how long? Guerin, their forwards and the attacking midfielders, they're not giving him any room.
No, they are absolutely playing more like a defense right now. They are all over the place, swarming them like bees, not even letting them move.
Jose Chavez, who we talked so highly of, number 17 in white, was surrounded by players in purple. Plucking it up, Mattia Bernoco. Lobs it into Hartman. Now Hall. And Ritter's opportunity here. It's played ahead, but it went to Peter Bedford in purple as he drops it back to Alex Gardner. Alex Gardner has the tough task. He has to replace Aiden Parkus, who was a tremendous goalie for Guerin for his career. And now that could be something. This is true for any sport when you're trying to replace a steady presence, someone who's been exemplary at their position. That's a tall task.
Well, you know, you're filling some shoes that everyone's got expectations for you. The parents have expectations, the school, the coaches, your teammates. And, Alex Gardner, he's going to have a tall task, but I think that he's going to be up to it. Great athlete. And, of course, he's replacing somebody that's a school legend. But, it's got to happen at some time. Next man up.
Right, fields it up towards the Hartman, who plays it over. It's like Thornberg, but it was deflected by a Ritter defender. Chance not away yet, but is pushed aside.
Well, that was a very close call. Got just a little bit outside of Osvaldo Carlos's range. Nice attempt, though. Nice shot.
And Osvaldo Carlos is in an interesting position for his team. This is his first year playing goalie. He was a forward in his career, and several of his teammates have looked towards him just as somebody who's shown a lot of growth and really modeled what it means to be a Cardinal Ritter Raider. Is the first corner kick played short, now up top, chipped in. And here's a shot and chipped in immediately. Guerin Catholic's first goal of the year. Didn't even take 5 minutes.
That was just a bam-bam type of play. It happened so quickly, and Carlos didn't even see the second kick coming.
1-0 Guerin Catholic. Not even 5 minutes in.
Well, that's what that's kind of what we were talking about earlier, Jonathan, is, they have so many attacking players and offensively, gifted players. The thing that Ritter's going to have to do is try to maintain possession, keep it away from him. But, if you see right now, Guerin Catholic, they are just swarming Cardinal Ritter everywhere they're on the field.
And Guerin Catholic looks very much the aggressor, kind of as they did in the first game last year. And yet again, you gesture with your hands, but it's right on, right into the box. Another shot, this one off the net behind the goal. But Guerin Catholic, they are out shooting Cardinal Ritter 3-0, and we haven't even played 5 minutes yet.
Well, and that just shows the strategy of Guerin Catholic was to come out strong, come out very aggressive, and it almost got them a second goal. They barely missed it. Nice shot.
This one will be played forward, and another opportunity. Hartman tries to chase it down the sideline. Coming up with it is Victor Cervantes, one of the captains for Cardinal Ritter. Plays the ball far ahead. After it's Hernandez Rangel, and then it's into the box, and Bedford will just distribute it up the field. Possession will stay with Guerin Catholic. And a nice tackle at midfield. Play on, says the referee. And it will play towards Guerin Catholic for the moment. Now a little too aggressive.
It looks like they're going to...
It'll be Bernoco. Cabotage will give a chase for Guerin Catholic. And then here comes our second whistle. It'll be the first foul against Guerin. Cervantes to the top of the box. They wanted to do a give and go, but it couldn't connect on it. Bedford was right in the middle of it. And now Guerin from midfield and in flight. Hartman's on one wing. Keeping it's Lafioska. He lost it. It was tripped up. He wanted a little bit of a referee whistle. Will not get it. And now Cervantes had it tripped away from him by Bernoco.
Well, that was good defense from Ritter there, getting the ball away, because they had it set up to where there could have been an outside shot on the right.
Thornberg plays it far to the side. Now into the box. Still alive. Saved by Carlos.
You know, you mentioned Carlos. You know, what kind of a transition is that? That's a tough one. You go from an attacking forward to the mainstay of the defense. That takes a lot of discipline.
Lafioska wanted to go to Hartman, was just a little bit behind him. Lafioska stays with it. Joseph, senior, he was an academic All-State last year, and tripping up going down is Hartman.
Oh, and I think that's what's going to happen with Ritter starting out is, you know, they're going to have to get physical with Guerin Catholic, because Guerin Catholic is just playing so aggressive. You're probably going to get some contact, a lot of physicality, and you're going to get some cards drawn.
Free kick opportunity for Guerin. Could a second goal be coming for Guerin inside the first 10 minutes of the season? Hartman drives just wide.
No, they had a good opportunity there, just a little bit too high. No header was available. Now Ritter's going to get another chance to get possession here. They're going to have to push the ball down. I mean, we've only seen them get the ball past the halfway point of the field a couple times. They haven't really been able to do much. Let's see if they change up the strategy here.
And we talked to the Ritter, as I said, the Ritter captains before, and Chris Murray, one of the midfielders, number 10 in white, he said that he knew to be really successful tonight, they needed to play 100% this entire game. And so far, they haven't been able to get that full effort. And most of that is not to the fault of Ritter, but Guerin has just been so aggressive from the get-go. And if you get a second goal this early, it becomes very tough if you're Ritter trying to play from behind with a relatively inexperienced club.
Well, and I mean, you know, holy cow, they're playing great offensively and defensively. I mean, every aspect of the game thus far in the short amount of time we've had, they've played flawless. So Ritter's going to have to try to develop a way to get the ball downfield and break that aggressiveness of Guerin Catholic.
That was Murray. He had a chance at it, and this ball will trickle out of play, and it will go to Guerin. And that's kind of an example of making your own luck. If you're the aggressor, sometimes you get more opportunities, and Ethan Mason will lob it in.
Yeah, Ethan Mason, he really actually it wasn't him. I was talking about Evan Miller. Evan Miller on that last possession got really physical with Cardinal Ritter and was able to actually
there we go.
Ball loose.
We got a little Joker screen there for a moment, purple and green. Well, we're happy you're joining us. Clear picture, unclear picture. Here's Peter Hall playing it up ahead. Tommy Hartman giving chase into the corner. He's guarded tightly and trying to keep it in play, does so. Now he reverses course, splits two, battling through. You saw the strength of Hartman. Now this is up top. Trying to give it a drive was Miller. Drops it back to Mason. And now maybe for Ritter, is this their first chance? No, it's not. Denied by Bedford. And is swept over, and Guerin Catholic will play on maintaining the possession, which they've done for most of this game. For most of this first 10 minutes, it's all been Guerin Catholic.
Well, just a microcosm of what we've seen in the first half here so far is Ethan Mason, for example, just took on 2 Ritter defenders and still got the ball through him. I mean, the double teams so far for Ritter are
nice tackle.
A little bit futile, so they're going to have to try to adjust that and be potentially a little bit better one-on-one.
Played the first 10 minutes. What are your thoughts so far? We're a quarter into this first half, and we've really got to see a lot of the Guerin offense.
Well, I'll say that it's easy to talk about Guerin's offense just because of all the forwards and strikers, but their defense has been absolutely swarming. It is just so difficult for Ritter to even get the ball past the halfway point, and their time of possession is also incredible. I mean, they're keeping the ball.
Speaking of which, Hartman checks out to the far side. We'll see what Miller can do with it. Not much, but it could be another corner kick. It would be the second of the game for Guerin. And here's another scoring opportunity. So far, by our unofficial count, Guerin Catholic has 4 shots on goal, and then this will be their second corner. So if you're looking at those just concrete examples, it's that kind of personifies, and Ritter hasn't had much of anything yet.
Well, Guerin Catholic, plain and simple, they're creating opportunities to score. They've only gotten 1, but
only 1 for now, but it's up and over the goal. That could have been the second.
Well, and they've done it in different ways, too. It's not just getting it to a forward and kicking it in the goal. Or, the first goal, they had that small little kind of almost like just a little short pass and get it past Osvaldo Carlos. But they've also gotten header chances and all sorts of different ways. So they're creating a lot of opportunities for themselves.
Fishahe tried to play it up to Cervantes to no avail. He'll give it chase out of play, and it'll be a throw-in for Fishahe.
Boy, Ritter's got to try to get the ball past the halfway point. Here we go.
We'll see if they can turn it into something. Guerin's getting back. Nice tackle on the outside, having to delay the Raider offensive. Here's Chavez. Will he drop it back? He's got Murray there. Instead, he plays it to Hernandez Rangel.
Lafiosco almost came up right behind him and stole that ball. Luckily, got it out before he could.
Castro, it will stay with Ritter. And here's the first real opportunity for Ritter. Now they got everyone up, and we'll see if they can capitalize, but the throw-in sailed over the Raiders' entire offense, and here comes Guerin on the counterattack.
Well, and Ritter, they kind of got the first game jitters here. They need to slow down and just kind of let the game, really go in slow motion a little bit here, because Guerin Catholic is just all over the place. All over every time they've got the ball, there's always a purple jersey right next to them, taking it right away from them.
See if they can do it again. Bedford on the header. It will stay with Ritter. Murray caught up on the referee. Using the screen, plays on. Smart move, but he wasn't able to get it to Cervantes.
Well, you saw there, Guerin Catholic's defense, it's almost like a screen of purple jerseys.
In fairness, the Los Angeles Lakers, who are purple and yellow, their great announcer Chick Hearn, he used to say it was foreign blue. So I will give you that one.
Well, I appreciate that. What I was going to say is that.
Oh wait, here comes Cervantes. Can he get up there? No. Gardner is able to cut it off and play it forward.
They might have just shown us something there. Maybe Cardinal Ritter should try to just push the ball, maybe get one guy down the flank, kick the ball downfield with a little more force than the little passes that they're trying. Try to use that aggressiveness against Guerin Catholic.
Lafiosa tried to go not down the flank. He tried to go right up Meridian, then is played ahead, but Bedford's there, and he drops it back to Gardner. Ooh, dangerous ball. But there are way more purple jerseys or forum blue, depending on how kind we're trying to be to Drake. And now here's Hall in transition.
Let's see if Guerin Catholic's going to set themselves up another opportunity here. Cardinal Ritter has got to try to use that stifling defense that we saw last year.
There you go. There you go. And on the counter, Cervantes, near side. He had a man in the middle, but he's boxed in by Guerin defenders, and this is right in front of Murray, but he wasn't able to do much with it.
Oh, wow.
Downfield way ahead. Another opportunity for Guerin, maybe. Chipped out and driven up the middle of the pitch to Hartman, right to him. The worm burner now driven into a defender for Cardinal Ritter. That was Paulo Rodriguez who took the brunt end of that shot. But it's turned out okay for Ritter if they can maintain possession, but Guerin won't let him.
Well, it just seems like whenever Ritter tries to pass the ball or move it downfield, Guerin Catholic is right there to intercept the passes or get physical, and they find a way to pilfer that ball and essentially remove any sort of momentum that Ritter might have.
That foul was against Jose Chavez. Gabbidage. The turn shot saved by Carlos.
Good save.
Just had to drop down to one knee, genuflect to catch it. I want to thank you all for joining us here live on Golden Eagle TV, powered by Indiana SRN. I'm Jonathan Mathis. Drake Wally is literally to my right, but he's right in your head, right in one of your ears. And here comes Guerin Catholic looking for another strike. Peter Hall can't get around on it. And we'll see if Ritter can slink away. Cervantes.
Well, that was just really nice defense there from Cabbage. Slid right in and stole it. Nice.
Bedford plays it over to right. Now up to Mason. They're trying to go to Hartman. And Bedford's aggressive defense pressing forward. Threatened to keep possession for Guerin Catholic. Now here's Cervantes. What can he do? It was almost a 1-on-4. Now here's an opportunity for Ritter. Chavez.
Thought Chavez was going to take that ball right down the left side and potentially set somebody up in the middle for a header.
A little bit more deliberate pace by Ritter. Murray had it for a moment before it was plucked away by Miller.
Oh.
Nice catch by the lady in the front row.
Riley.
Bernoco will do the throw, and that's mostly just if you had a midfielder doing a throw-in, then you wouldn't be able to have an extra offensive player in front, so you feel let the defender do it. And this one's out of play. It caught Cervantes leaning the wrong way. And that's a little cross-up. You see that in many sports. It happens in soccer all the time.
Well, there's something I've noticed here is Ritter has got the talent to push the ball. It's just that it seems like they're in a little bit of disarray, trying to kind of slow things down. They're still a little bit erratic out there, and Guerin Catholic is taking advantage of that. They're right there up on them in the defense.
That was one of the three Ethans for Guerin Catholic. We're joking with both of Guerin's captains are named Ethan, Cavitage and Thornberg, and then there's Ethan Mason.
Could get confusing.
I think if you're Ethan Mason, you should file a protest. If two Ethans are going to be captains, then you might as well include the third.
Yeah, and you're not taking it from anybody. You're just adding a third captain, so that makes perfect sense.
And so that's nothing to take away from Cavitage and Thornberg, but poor Ethan Mason, he's been he's been quite a presence in this match so far.
Yes, he's been everywhere. I mean, anywhere the ball is, you'll see him.
This one didn't get enough on it. Bernoco plays it forward. Here's Cavitage, one of the captain Ethans.
Well, it just seems like whenever Ritter gets an opportunity, they start to push the ball past the midfield point. Guerin just takes it and they keep it on their half of the field. They are dominating possession for the first half of this.
That's true. There's several ways you can score a goal. If you do a quick strike, maybe Fichet will keep it in play right in his own box, and that could be dangerous. Hall thought about it. Double clutches. This one is off the gloves of Carlos. And Osvaldo Carlos is able to make the save and play it forward. But to finish that point, if it seems like every way you could try to score a goal on offense, Guerin has been better at it this game than Ritter. You have the counterattack. If you're having trouble just commanding the ball, then you want to use the counter. But Guerin has been able to command it. They've been able to counter. They've had the quick attack. They've had a little bit of everything, and they've been the most aggressive. And that's something we want to see. You would want to see for Ritter over the latter portions of this half and into the next. Is how can you make those adjustments to be able to get more offensive firepower? Because so far they've been holding up, and it's somewhat because of Guerin being a little inaccurate with their shots because they've had more of them.
Yeah, and one of the things that I wanted to point out is I know that he had one let up a goal at the start of the game here, but Osvaldo Carlos, sophomore goalkeeper, give him credit. He's got 3 straight saves now, and I think that they got to get the ball really in the scorer's hands. Victor Cervantes has been mainly the guy who's had possession for the team as he has now. So we'll see who they can get involved. Maybe get the ball on the other side of the field. It's been pretty much just the left side they've been working.
A quarter of this game is gone. Another defensive stand by the Golden Eagles. Oh, here's a chance. If Cervantes can maintain control, but Peter Hall won't let him.
Well, Cervantes is everywhere for Cardinal Ritter. He is very heavily involved in this game. Just needs a little bit of.
Oh, nice through, but a good tackle to keep it from getting up to Mason. The threat not over yet. Mason on the outside. Cabbage, Hartman into the box. Clipped away. Now sent in and through the hands of Carlos and out of play.
Well, Carlos has put on a clinic now with these past four attempts. He's got 4 straight saves. He's definitely made up for letting up that first goal.
Here comes another corner for Guerin Catholic. In that department, the Golden Eagles have the decisive edge, 3-0. Thornberg, I believe.
Looks like Peter Hall.
Headed high and out of play. Another goal kick for Ritter. See, maybe play this one a little short. The long ones, Ritter hasn't been struggling to be able to get the runs after the deep passes. He might, but if you play it short, you're risking it.
Yeah, and that first goal was kind of interesting. It was just it's like a bang-bang type play. It happened right in front of the goalie. And since then, they've been defensively sound.
Oh, they do try it short. Bouncing on it was Evan Miller. It'll be a throw-in for Guerin. Here's Cabbage. Off Fichet.
Fichet played some good defense there. Just couldn't hold on to the ball there.
Hall. Miller sends it around, headed high, dangerous opportunity, and Carlos plucks it out of the sky.
Well, one of the duels I've noticed is Fichet and Hall. They've had some. It's been kind of a Guerin Catholic, dominated possession here the first half. But boy, Fichet and Hall, they've had some good exchanges there one-on-one.
It seems like the frenetic pace for Guerin has waned a little bit. We'll see what they do here on the counterattack, but they have that goal. They're out shooting Ritter, but they haven't been as frantic. And we'll see if that continues as Fichet is trying to chase this down into the corner. And it does go out of play. It'll be a throw-in, and Hall's going to waste no time.
Well, and at some point when you have that fast-paced of an offensive attack, it's going to wane a little bit. It's really just a matter of if Cardinal Ritter can take advantage of this uber-aggressive.
Oh, hold on now. The goalie's down. It's open. It's nice save by a defender. Saved again. And now recovering is Osvaldo Carlos. 2 golden chances for the Golden Eagles, and Ritter's defense slams the door shut.
And it wasn't even the goalie. That was impressive defense from Cardinal Ritter, averting disaster.
I think it was Paulo Rodriguez.
Yep, I think so.
He held firm, and Guerin did him some favors by kicking it right at him. But nevertheless, he manned that net just like a champion.
Yeah, and I know this goes without saying, but he can't use his hands at all. I mean, he was just kicking the ball right back at him. That was very impressive.
We have another chance here. Hartman, sidewinder, clipped and deflected off a Raider.
We're going to rewind that goalie play in just a minute here.
Go inside 15 minutes to play. Coming up at halftime, we'll recap this first half, give some suggestions for the second half, and then we will have some halftime programming. So don't go anywhere during then. We'll be back for the second half. But we still have a lot more to play here in this first. And let's take another peek at that defensive display by Paulo Rodriguez. 1, 2, and then Carlos recovers.
And it does, in the replay, it doesn't. It's only 2 saves, but I mean, without the goalie, and it goes back to what I was saying is he is impaired. He can't use what your typical goalkeeper would use, and he was still able to stop that. So potentially stop the 2-0 Guerin lead.
And 2-0. And we talked about this several minutes ago, but 2-0 is gigantic at this point, beginning of the season. And now Ritter, they've been able to weather it a little bit, settle down, and we'll see if they're able to make a dent into this Guerin defense. And maybe the chance is here, is it not? We'll find out. Played up to Cervantes. Cervantes has been so dangerous so far this game. He has another player in the box with him, and he plays it off the side of the net.
Yeah, I think what you're seeing is Guerin Catholic's experience. That experience, that field experience that so many of these starters in the starting lineup have. That's why they've been able to really press that attack. But I think, kind of alluding to your point, you're starting to see it slow down a little bit, and Cardinal Ritter's starting to be able to get more possessions now. So we'll see if they can create shots, create opportunities on that part of the field.
Deliberate possession so far by Guerin Catholic. Working that far side of the field, tackled out of play. And it was won by Ritter.
Only possession Ritter can get right now. I'd like to see just a little more aggressiveness. There we go.
See if they can capitalize on it. This one might just be inching up the pitch, and that's what they're doing. In front of the students and fans, sunning themselves, getting some vitamin D.
The ball took a weird bounce, and now Cervantes has got
Castro, yeah.
Now, one of the captains.
Look out from behind. Hartman tried to creep up on Castro. Nice footwork by Castro. Weaves in.
The middle.
Sets up Murray, but he lost it momentarily, and now Gardner will send it the opposite direction.
Boy, Gardner has not a knock on Gardner at all, John, but he hasn't had to do a whole lot in this game. He's had to pick up a couple ground balls and whatnot, but Carlos has been taking a lot of shots and has had to really, exert a lot of energy over there.
Yeah, that's the way you want it if you're a soccer coach. You want to be able to say, our goalie didn't have to do much today, and here he might have to here. Murray lost it. Hall gains it. Peter Hall feeds it ahead. It's Miller. Looks for Hartman. Miller launches one, but it's just behind his intended target. It'll be a goal kick for the Raiders.
That looked like Tommy Hartman that missed the header there, just a little bit behind him. If it would have been a little more in front, you might have seen Guerin Catholic's second goal. That pass was just a hair off.
Ticking closer to single digits on the clock.
Now we're starting to see a little. See, Ritter was doing so well getting the ball past the halfway point, and I think past couple minutes here, you're starting to see Guerin Catholic keep it on their half, even when Ritter has the ball. So you're starting to see that pressing attitude, that pressing defense again.
This will be a throw-in for Ritter. Dangerous throw-in.
Number 2, Luis Hernandez checks back in for the Raider.
Couple subs off the pitch, both wearing numero dos. Luis Hernandez is back in for Ritter, and Lucas Pignon is in for Guerin. Lucas did not play last year, took a year off, but he's back onto the pitch and playing for this electric Guerin Catholic boys soccer team.
Chris Murray kind of bailed out Castro there a little bit, who tried to take on 2 Guerin Catholic defenders.
And every time Ritter has a nice through ball, there's always a Guerin defender closing in on it, well positioned.
Well, and I've also noticed they've kept it on one side of the field. Guerin kind of attacks from the right for the most part, whereas Ritter attacks from the left. Neither team has really explored that second half of the field.
And that ball just kept going. Went to the jungle. Be a goal kick for Ritter, and them keeping it, as you've described, is doing all right for the viewing public.
Yeah, that is very true. Very true, keeping everything close.
We're happy you are our viewing public. Joining us here, Hall, just to the side.
This might be nitpicking here, but as well as Carlos has done here, saving the shots, he's got to try to kick that ball farther. He's kicking it too short, right into Guerin Catholic players, and risking himself having to defend more shots.
And the former forward will dribble this one out just a little bit.
There we go.
Everyone headed down the pitch, driven on. Into the middle of the sea of purple. Coming out with it is Chavez. Chavez circling back. He's got help if he wants it. Murray's one of them. Martin is another. Now he hits the turf. Guerin has it. Staying with it is Guerin. And here come the Golden Eagles. Tripped up from behind was Guerin's Matthew Wright. See if the foul was called. It looked like it'd be a free kick, and it was. Guerin wasting no time here with just over 8 minutes left to play in the first half.
Well, Peter Bedford played some wonderful tackle that last possession from Ritter. Took the ball right back away.
Thornberg from Cabbage plays it up to Mason. The Ethans all connecting on this play. And now Thornberg takes a tumble. Shot on goal, saved by Carlos.
Carlos getting so much work here in the first half.
Nice move by Castro. Chipped on to no one.
I think it might have been a little bit of a miscommunication there. You kicked it right back to Gardner. They're just cutting off all of Ritter's passing lanes. When you see a Ritter player get open and actually get through the defense, there's someone else right there cutting off the passing lane.
And it's Pink, and now we're back. Don't adjust your viewing screens at home. Our producer is going to sleep well tonight, Clay Rexroad. Hang in there. Bernoco scoots it forward.
It's the first game of the year, right?
It's a new setup for us, and it's working. I would give it an overall positive grade, and it's been a pleasure to be able to broadcast this with you. Ooh. Here is Castro all by himself, working his way back. Appears to be most of the Guerin defense. And then Wright will play it away.
Nobody was there for Castro. He had a nice cross kick there, cross pass, if you will, and there was just nobody there.
Nothing for Murray, but Ritter keeps the pressure on. Now Castro crosses it in, but no one was making a run. Staying with it's Murray, and then Cabbage gets it up to Thornberg. Now a breakout for Guerin Catholic. Parkus. His brother was the great goalie who just graduated He's now an offensive player. Lucas Pignon, gobbled up by Osvaldo Carlos.
Oh, man. Got to get that ball farther downfield.
Peter Hall disagrees, and he drops it back to his teammates. Bedford from the middle. Lays it over to Mason on the far side. Now chipped on and out of play. It'll be a throw in for Guerin.
I think, there's still 5 minutes left, of course, but I think the second half, Ritter's just going to have to focus on more of an offensive presence and be more aggressive and try to combat that defense for the Guerin Catholic, because it has just been absolutely smothering.
That's Carlos drifting in, stalking Thornberg, chips it over to the side. Hall drives it off the Ritter defender, now lobs it in, and this one will be escorted towards the baseline, off Carlos, chipped out of play.
Boy, that was very, very close. I can't see who that is. It looks like he's kicking himself a little for not making that goal. But overall, nice save again from Osvaldo Carlos. I think that's about 7 or 8 now for the first half. He has just been electric after that first mishap. He's been on point.
Unofficially, 9 shots for Guerin, 1 for Cardinal Ritter, and Osvaldo Carlos has been busy. It is a goalkeeper competition this year for Cardinal Ritter between Osvaldo Carlos, who has been very busy in this game, and Jesse Alvarez, who is watching on. That is going to be something to look forward to for these Raiders as they play on. Hartman had his shot tackled away. Now it's sent in. Hall plays it in front. Chipped high and out of play by Ethan Cabotage.
Well, Cabotage just got a little too much. He chipped it a little too much. But that was another scoring opportunity there for Guerin. They were just racking them up. They've had about 10. So I think that one of the things that you'll probably hear Chris McGrath mention is they got to capitalize more on the opportunities that they're given.
Most assuredly, any coach worth his stripes will always find something to nitpick. Inside 3.5 to play. 1-0. Lafioska wanted to go immediately. And that'll be Thornberg. Inside 3 minutes. One of the senior captains, Ethan Thornberg, is waiting. Will it be his shot? It will. Nice center, and it's plucked away right into the chest of Carlos. If he was a quarterback, hit him right in between the numbers.
Someone we haven't used his name a lot, but Peter Bedford, he has been a presence on the field. He hasn't necessarily had possession of the ball very much, but he's presenting a problem for Cardinal Ritter on defense, and it's showing.
Now inside 2.5 to play. Coming up at halftime, we'll salute a couple of our sponsors, then we'll recap this first half, and then we'll have some halftime programming. Get you ready for the second half. Hope you'll join us for all of it, and we're happy to join us tonight here on Golden Eagle TV, powered by Indiana SRN. Peter Hall. Hartman. Pignon. Hall. Trying to create space. Pignon wasn't ready for it. Bernoco was. Hall chips it. Pignon chased it. And then Paulo Rodriguez plays it out of play.
You can start to see a little bit of fatigue here. A lot of, from both ends, because Ritter's had to keep up with Guerin Catholic's aggressive style. And then Guerin Catholic's had to press it. So starting to see a little bit of fatigue here.
That's about the third time that header's just been just too tall for Tommy Hartman.
Side out for the Raiders.
66 seconds to play.
1 minute left in the first half. 1 minute.
See how Guerin Catholic ends this half here if they're going to be really aggressive and try to get a shot in.
Pignon with 50 seconds to play. Lafioska lines it up. Plucked away by Carlos.
I just want you to follow one of the teams back and sign on Jocko.
Carlos has been the guy that's kept, and this is nothing against Ritter, but Carlos has been the guy that's kept him alive in this game, kept it to 1-0.
A half minute. Hall plays it ahead. Ritter withstands it. And now it's Murray on the attack and is chipped away by Bernoco. There's 18 seconds to play for Carlos.
It was a really nice, defensive stand there from Mattia Bernoco.
8 seconds to play. Murray won't get a shot off. This one's swept away by Gardner, and the first half comes to a close, and it is a Guerin Catholic demolition of Ritter in this first half. They had the pressure on, and they lead 1-0 going into halftime on Golden Eagles TV, powered by Indiana SRN.
Piper Group Warehouse has a strong commitment to their clients as their logistics provider. If you would like to discover how you can improve your service levels while lowering your overall cost, Piper Logistics Group can help. Call Greg Piper today at 317-396-3916. Piper Logistics Group.
That was a fun first half, wouldn't you say? If you'd like to see it again, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel and see it anytime. You could watch it right now. You could watch it tomorrow. You could watch it this evening. Anytime you'd like, you can watch it. You can watch all of our games. We had 2 of them tonight. Franklin Central Heritage Christian Volleyball and Hamilton Heights at Guerin Catholic. Also volleyball, and that's fun, but what's first half reflections really quick, Drake Wally? What did you think from that first?
Well, I mean, just a couple things here. First and foremost, I have to give a lot of credit to Osvaldo Carlos. I know that it's been that he let up that first goal, but he's actually had about 9 or 10 saves now in a row, and so he's really kept him in it. But on the other end, Ritter has they've got to press the attack more efficiently. They've got to get that ball down the field in the second half of the field and get more shot opportunities. I think you said they had 1, whereas Guerin Catholic, they need to actually capitalize more on their shot opportunities because they had, I think, upwards of more than 10. So each team's got to do a little bit more, but I think that at the end of the day, Guerin Catholic, as long as they keep pressing, it's going to force Cardinal Ritter to have to keep up with them, and it's been a little bit difficult. So.
Don't go anywhere, folks. More Golden Eagle TV powered by Indiana SRN is next. Guerin Catholic leads Ritter at the half, 1-0.
Life comes at you fast, so it's important to have some help along the way.
Ah, my favorite patient. Ah, my favorite patient.
When the dust settles, it doesn't always end as anticipated. Embrace the journey and care for the ones around you.
My favorite patient.
For everything else and every stage in between,
my favorite patient.
Methodist Sports Medicine is here for you.
Your home and office make up a big part of your world. Sometimes trying to manage it all on your own can make you feel like you have the weight of the world on your shoulders. And when the weight of the world is on your shoulders, you need a strong back or two to come to your rescue and haul your stress away. You need the College Hunks. Whether it's time to clear some space for new memories, to reinvent the room around you, or to simply pack up and move into a fresh new beginning, you can count on the Hunks to bear your burden so you don't have to. Let us move you today.
Athletics, we embrace the school's mission to glorify God, pursue excellence, and disciple students. This mission is at the core of who we are, driving our students and coaches to pursue athletics in a distinctive way that brings honor to Jesus Christ. Athletics teaches students about the value of competition, about teamwork and goal setting, about respect and hard work. The privilege of interscholastic athletic participation can be one of the most rewarding experiences in a student's life. The responsibility associated with this privilege can help the student athlete maintain proper perspective and serve as a reminder of what is truly important in life. We win through sports if we develop competitive and successful athletic teams and individuals. We win through life if we glorify God to be the best that we can be. As we build on our statewide reputation of athletic excellence that emphasizes sportsmanship and outreach, I look forward to seeing how God will continue to use Heritage Christian Athletics to impact our community.
The greatest thing ever said about mankind was that we were made in God's image.
Best thing for me about Heritage is that you form such close relationships with teachers and other students. It's just amazing for me to be walking down the hallway and to run into one of my old elementary school teachers and they still remember my name. They'll come up and give me a big hug and be like, Rachel, oh, how are you doing? Like, tell me about your life.
That's right. That's right.
We are integrating a biblical worldview into everything that we do here. Every class that we have, every relationship that's here on campus, every athletic activity, team, club, fine arts, that's part of the value proposition of discipleship here at Heritage. And how our faculty and staff speak into and pour into our student lives is so important. And you see that in so many ways. You see it obviously in the classroom, but you also see it with teachers who lead clubs, who are talking and tutoring with students after school, who really care about what's going on in our students' lives, and they're there to make a difference.
I am Heritage.
Heritage Christian.
I am Heritage. I am Heritage.
Every hurt and every sting, he has walked the suffering, he knows.
Parents, do you like free food? Hut, hike it on over to Prodigy Burger and Bar, where Monday is family night and kids eat free. Every day you can find daily specials featuring craft burgers, tacos, wings, and more. Prodigy is now playing the NFL Sunday Ticket on more than 25 TVs, so you won't miss a second of your favorite teams. Prodigy also caters, hosts private events, as well as dine and donates. Celebrate your school spirit with us at Prodigy Burger and Bar. More than just burgers, located in Clay Terrace in Carmel.
Our family has been very happy working with Wallflower Pictures.
Because they make sure that I get the acting skills that I need in this industry and the education that I need.
Wallflower Pictures supports UV's journey in the industry. They're very passionate about his growth, and they're very professional and attentive to our needs.
And I truly believe in the projects I've worked on, like For the Boys and The Walk.
We love working with Wallflower Pictures.
Welcome back, everyone. We got less than a minute to go before the second half as we enter sunset here in Noblesville, Indiana. Jonathan Mathis alongside Drake Wally. Drake, a fourth-minute goal by Tommy Hartman has been the difference, but all things considered, Guerin, a dominant performance by the home team.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's in soccer. It's really the possession that matters, and I know that we don't have a clock, but I mean probably 3/4 of that was Guerin possessing the ball. And the thing is, every time, like we said, Ritter would get some momentum rolling, it would just get immediately stifled because Guerin would be so aggressive. They'd be right up on possession, and they would cut off any passing lanes. So it's going to be interesting to see what Ritter's going to do to try to combat that, change up something, maybe be a little more aggressive.
Here we head back to the field of play. For Guerin Catholic, there's some Ethans, some Peters, and a couple other guys. Cardinal Ritter will look to notch themselves on the scoreboard and make this a whole new game. But we got 40 minutes on the clock. We will have 40.
Well, you'll also see if hopefully Ritter can maybe use a little bit more possession for Jose Chavez and Chris Murray. Two top scorers there, might get them the ball a little more. Didn't see a lot of them. Most of the time it was Victor Cervantes or Jose Castro that had possessions.
Yeah, Castro looked a little frisky out there in the end of the first half. He was making some runs, and he was attacking. Here the referee is adjusting. You can see it yourself. The scoreboard at the bottom. Right now it says 4 minutes. It should say 40.
Sorry, he's getting it now. Referee's getting a good chuckle in.
There we go.
Yeah, back to your point, boy, Jose Castro was taking on all of Guerin. It seemed like he was more than happy to do that too. So get him a little bit of help, and we'll see if Cardinal Ritter can't put one on the board and notch it to a tie here.
Yeah, that back line of Bernoco, Wright, and Bedford was quite impenetrable, let alone before he got to Gardner, who saved everything that was sent towards him. And here, a nice aggressive display by Ritter to begin this second half. I'll flip the script and go the opposite way.
Start the second half for the Golden Eagles is number 6, Michael Cranley.
As the announcer as the PA announcer just said, making his first appearance of this game, Michael Cranley Jr. A lot of seniors on this Guerin Catholic team. 9 of them, and the entire roster, the varsity roster, is made up of upperclassmen. And if you're trying to make an assault on the state title, then having that experience is definitely something that should be in your favor. Matthew Wright got outfoxed by Cervantes, but then plucks it right back from him, plays it back to Hall. Now Bernoco reverses the field.
Well, that's been the tale of the game, is when you see Ritter get a little bit of momentum, it's just cut off immediately by Guerin Catholic. So Ritter's going to have to try to get some shot opportunities. They only had one, and that's just not going to get it done.
Also into the match for the Golden Eagles, number 12, Aiden Susi.
Here's Thornberg. Hartman plucked right away from him. Wasting no time was Jose Chavez, who is always eager to do anything to help the team, like get it up to Cervantes. Cervantes battling away with Wright, and Matthew got the better of him.
Yeah, Cervantes just lost it a little bit there, and the other 11 took it away. Matthew Wright, nice defense.
Thornberg from the middle of the pitch. Now to Cabbage. One captain to the other. Nice run by Ethan Cabbage. Can he have a chance at it? He does, and is saved away by Osvaldo Carlos.
Boy, that was the inside foot. Went for a little chip kick there, and he took on the whole Ritter defense and almost got himself a runaway goal. Nice shot there anyway from Cabbage.
It'll be the first corner kick of the second half for Guerin Catholic.
That's a beautiful day for soccer.
It really is. Just perfect.
Sent
in. Chip tie. Still alive. Still alive. And Carlos has it.
The ball got lost a little bit there.
Let's check out that last chance. Cabbage off the goal. This is a replay again. Replay. A nice drive by Cabbage.
Just ran out of room a little bit there, but he almost got it.
And back to live. Cervantes. The 11s battling each other on this end of the pitch.
Boy, Hartman was all over him.
Chavez plays it out wide. Fichet. Now newly into the game, Aiden Sousey. Zach Martin. And Wright intercepted it.
All right, now it's kind of a game of kind of a stalemate. You're seeing Catholic kick it right to Ritter. Ritter kicks it back to Catholic, so on and so forth. They're kind of volleying it back and forth. So we'll see who can get on the second half of the field.
Thornberg avoiding the handball over to Cabbage.
Ooh.
Sousey has to drop it. Cabbage. Thornberg.
Ritter's defense has changed in the second half. I will say they are playing much better against that aggressive Guerin Catholic attack.
Up from behind, Mason.
Costro was caught sleeping.
Now Crandley. Offsides is called. That'll be the first of the game.
And the Golden Eagles are whistled for offside.
Is that on Aiden Sosi?
It was on somebody. Aiden Sousey, one of the junior midfielders on this Guerin team. A lot of, if we could consider for this moment a junior and underclassmen, then a lot of underclassmen played on this Guerin Catholic team last year. As Cervantes splits a couple defenders, and now here's Ritter, looking like the roles have reversed as Peter Hall chases it all the way back and will send it to his own goalie, Gardner.
Well, Gardner has not had to take a lot of damage, and I will say that Carlos hasn't had to defend the goal much this second half. Ritter's definitely adjusted their defense. Now they've just got to try to flip that over to offense and get some opportunities down.
See at the bottom of your screen, Matthew Wright wanted it to be sent over to him. Plays on the far side of the field. Football stadium awash in sunset glow. Guerin looking for a second goal. Hartman. Couldn't get just around on it. Need a little bit more speed.
That was a good reaction from Chavez. Get that out of there.
Cervantes tried to do a little give and go with his teammate Pedro Rodriguez, Paolo's younger brother. And now Octavio will play it away.
I feel like the second half so far, I don't know about you, Jonathan, but like they're feeling each other out almost. It's like there's just a little kick back and forth. Guerin's not as aggressive as they were.
That's true. Sousey. Oh, here's an opportunity. Matthew Wright. Still not out of the woods yet for Ritter. Cabbage.
Easy save.
Oh, that might have been, that could have been the chance there if Guerin could have converted it.
Oh.
Here's another one. Evan Miller. And that ball might hit a car. Go after it, little guy. See if it gets there.
Junior Gomez, nice slide there. Got rid of that ball. Good defense.
A lot of action here in Indiana SR. This is our first night of the season broadcasting games, and it's been a long time coming, and we're happy to be here with you. Also tonight, Franklin Central is playing at Heritage Christian in volleyball, another volleyball game, Hamilton Heights and Guerin Catholic. You see that big gym in the background. That's where that game's going on. Tomorrow, we have girls soccer, Zionsville at Guerin Catholic, and that'll be here on the webcast, and you can follow all these games. You don't have to change the channel. You can watch it on YouTube if you subscribe and just follow us there. And Guerin Catholic trying to add on, and the Ritter defense holds out. And this could be an opportunity. It is Jose Castro. Castro, such a key player in the back end of that first half, presses the ball at the side, and then a whistle.
Well, go back to when they had the ball on the other end over there by Ritter's goal. it kept bouncing off the backs of Guerin Catholic players. It's almost like they were looking down the wrong side, wrong end of the field. They could have potentially missed an opportunity to score.
Sousey. Hartman. Far side Miller plays it in. Carlos, another save.
Carlos has been a workhorse in this game.
Nice save by Osvaldo Carlos.
Murray plays it on to Chavez.
We just have not said Chavez or Murray very much in this game, and I really think that if Ritter was able to get them the ball a little bit more, they could kind of shine. It's just Guerin Catholic's defense has completely nullified this attack.
And there's Murray. We can say it now. Over to Martin. Near side, Cervantes. Try to get it back to Murray. That was a long, slow pass, but it's coming up okay for Ritter after the recovery. At least in the midfield portion, Drake, Ritter seems a lot more stabilized, a lot more calm. We'll see if the Guerin Catholic offense can make another dent in them.
Yeah, and that's a perfect way to put it, because it seems like Ritter is starting to kind of get it together when it comes to getting the ball in possession, but they can't form any shot opportunities, because right now it's on the opposite end of the field, just like it was almost all of the first half.
Now way on the far side, still in play. Cabotage. Miller. Hartman trips it back. Here's Hall. Drives it. Popped up. Saved by Carlos. It's becoming a refrain.
It's a pretty nice kick, though, from pretty far away. Good accuracy. It's going to go out. It's going to go out here, and unfortunately, Cervantes couldn't wrangle that one in.
10 minutes gone here in this second half.
Zach Martin kicked that out of there, and had Matthew Wright turned around, he would have seen that ball right in front of him. Unfortunately, he was spun around.
Mason escorts it out of play. It'll be a throw-in for Ritter.
Checking in for the Raiders, number 12, Ben Valle. Number 13, Edgar Gomez. And number 15,
This has been a little bit of a kind of a track meet.
Fernando
You
Ramirez.
know, you've just the first half of this, it was such a pressing attack from Guerin Catholic, and you know, Ritter's done a really good job defensively of adjusting, and they've been able to hold on to the ball more, but now the only thing missing is they've just got to create shot opportunities, and that's something they haven't been able to do yet. So we'll see. With 28 minutes left, a lot of time to do that.
I just need one to force overtime. That would be progress over last year, where Guerin Catholic outscored Cardinal Ritter on the aggregate 4-0. And we don't count those as the aggregate. I've just added up 2 games. This isn't European football entirely.
Got a clock running down. This is the
chance for Ritter. Can they capitalize? No. That's their best chance of the game, Drake.
Yes, they got possession very close to the goal, and almost forced Alex Gardner for really the first time to have to do his job.
Here's Fernando Ramirez, plays it back. Valley had it for a moment, and now Guerin Catholic on the counterattack. Sent forward and swept away. Valley. And it stops. That's been the problem in the defensive third, midfield third. Ritter's look strong, but they haven't all game long, Drake. They haven't been able to get it into the offensive third.
They just can't they just can't finish the attack, and they're getting closer and closer. But you got to ask yourself, is 27 minutes enough for them to be able to finally penetrate that defense? Because Guerin Catholic, you're starting to see a little bit of slowing down. From the start, it's been just kind of a little bit of a slope, and that's easy to see when you are pressing and attacking as aggressively as they are.
And it's true. It's Guerin, when they've had their chances in the second half, as Lafioska tries to chase down Granados Gomez, they've been capitalizing on them in the sense of they've been getting shots on goal, but it's not at the same frenetic pace as it began. And it seems that really from halfway through that first half, the pace slowed down for Guerin, where they're like, okay, maybe 1-0 is enough. Maybe we don't need to go for that knockout punch, and we've built up a big enough lead, and Ritter hasn't shown us that much.
Yeah,
that could be one way of looking at it.
They're just not getting, not to say it directly, but they're not really getting threatened. Ritter's got to show them that they've got to, that they need to push the pedal, because right now I think they're leaning a little farther on their defense, and that's because Ritter just isn't creating any opportunities.
Little battle between Murray and Sousey.
Granado's Gomez just ran into his own teammate accidentally there. Gonna get another chance right here, though.
Sent on. Ramirez. Martin feeds it up. And again, no one's there except for Alex Gardner, the Guerin goalie.
It looked like Ben Valley was the intended recipient of that pass from Zach Martin, just way off, and all Gardner had to do was go pick up a ground ball. And that's kind of going back to what we were saying, is when you see that doesn't really make you too worried, that someone's going to attack your goalie.
Chance here for Guerin. Lafioska into the box. Drops it back behind Hartman. Pignon! Welcome back to Guerin! It's been a year away, and Lucas Pignon, number 2, scores the second goal of the game for Guerin Catholic.
Well, that was just beautiful ball movement. They were able to kind of open up a lane for a shot there, and they unfortunately caught Carlos on the left side of the goal, and he had to extend and jump all the way to the right and just didn't have enough length.
Don't worry, folks. We'll have another peek at that one if you want to see it momentarily. But Lucas Pignon in the teal shoes with a strike. And here it was. Heads up play by Pignon. Bang.
Well, if you noticed, I believe it was Ethan Mason. He went to kick the ball and then stopped, and that kind of stutter stepped Osvaldo Carlos, who was watching him. He stopped, stayed at the left side of that goal. That was just a really nice shot.
Yeah, he laid it, and it seemed like that Pignon had a long way to go to get there, and boy did he ever.
That was a beautiful shot from from pretty far away too. Good accuracy.
So Tommy Hartman, the 4th minute. Lucas Pignon in the 55th. It's 2-0.
As you can see, Alex Gardner was in no hurry to get that ball out of there.
No need to be anymore. This time, Octavio is able to deflect it away. Plays it up Murray. Now Ritter needs a lot, and time's dwindling it. As Drake had alluded to, it already felt like time might be dwindling on him, and now it's much tougher, and it could be even harder if Lafioska plays it ahead. A drive just high.
Boy, that was a really nice kick, though. I mean, he barely missed it. It went right over Carlos's head. I'll say that Ritter right now, it goes back to basics. At least what I think here is you just got to try to get it to your top scorers. That's really the only thing they can do. 23 minutes is still a long time, but as we've alluded to, 2-0 in soccer it's a pretty sizable lead. So it's going to be tough, but I think Ritter's going to have to get it to the scorers.
And as you can see, with a new different colored jersey and goal, there's been a goal change for Cardinal Ritter. Jesse Alvarez has replaced Osvaldo Carlos, who's been very busy. He's shown his stripes, but down 2-0. Time appears for Bashir Barani's opportunity. Let's see what the other guy can do. If you're going to have a goalie competition, then here you go. Live action, first game of the year. Number 5, Guerin, looking to add to their lead. That one's just high and off the screen by Thornberg.
Well, and it is fair to say, that Osvaldo Carlos he probably, he let 2 up, but he probably took on 14 shots, so that's a lot of times you have to be relied on
Yeah, I had 15 by my count.
That's a lot of times you got to keep the ball out of the goal.
Both estimates pretty close. Here's another chance now. Nice tackle by Paulo Rodriguez. And here's Octavio Hernandez. Rangel. Cabbage shadows him. Now possession-based football played by Ritter.
Well, this is a guy who's really had the ball more than anybody on the team is Victor Cervantes, defense midfielder.
He's been a little bit quiet here the second half.
Yeah, it's kind of been a little bit of a shared, a little bit of a shared payload here for Cardinal Ritter in this half, but just no one able to get through a lane and get open to try to get an attempt on the goal here.
A little battle between Jose Chavez and Jack Demings, the junior midfielder, number 19, subbed in for Guerin. Now Hernandez Rangel. Octavio just trying for anything, and Gardner perfectly content with letting that bounce out of play.
Well, it's worth a shot, but that's the problem is in any sport. But I would feel especially soccer when you're trying to throw Hail Marys. That comes in the form of a kick, and it's a lot harder to kick from farther away. So they're gonna have to start trying taking some really big chances here if you're Cardinal Ritter. You got to be really aggressive here in the last 20 minutes if you're trying to score 2 goals.
An opportunity here for Chris McGrath and Guerin. You'd maybe sub a person every once in a while, take up some time, let it dwindle down, and then press the afterburners on offense. Mason leaves it. Demings tries, but Miller could not collect it.
Now, Jesse Alvarez, in the short time he's been in, he's yet to be tested, but you got to think for him, he's stepping in against a very good team out of nowhere, straight off the bench. So, if one comes his way, it'll be interesting to see how he reacts.
That was the 5th corner for Guerin Catholic. Pignon looking for number 2. Couldn't get it.
Well, Zach Martin was in the right place at the right time.
Bedford. Saved by Alvarez, and he pounces on it from the ground.
It's a nice diving save.
And almost do the worm to be able to get to that ball, and did so successfully. And Bernoco chips this one out of play. No harm, no foul. Be a throw-in for Jose Castro and Cardinal Ritter. Cabbage plucks it away immediately. Inside 20 minutes to play in the first match of the year. Up next for Guerin, they go to Heritage Christian next Tuesday. Then Thursday, they're here at Guerin Catholic against Fishers. And you can see that game here on indianasrn.org, or go to our YouTube channel and you can watch it there and subscribe. Other games coming up in the near future. Tomorrow, 7 p.m., girls soccer, Zionsville at Guerin Catholic. And then Thursday, we have volleyball action, 7 p.m., Covenant Christian at Indy Genesis. And then Friday, we have a full slate of football games, including Guerin Catholic and McCutcheon on these same stations here at indianasrn.org.
We're finally starting to see, it's kind of a change in lineups here a little bit, but Guerin Catholic is really just relaxing. They feel like right now they don't really have a lot to worry about. So this is, in my opinion, a chance for Cardinal Ritter to potentially hop one in. Maybe catch them by surprise, get it to one of your strikers, maybe cross a header. A lot of options here.
I mean, if you just need one, and then that fills you with so much more hope and confidence. But when you're looking at the goose egg on the scoreboard, and another chance here for Guerin Catholic, Lafioska, if he can battle with it, stays with it, and wins that little tussle, feeds it up ahead. Miller scores!
Well, that just was one-on-one. There was no way that, Jesse Alvarez went out there to try to slide tackle, but Miller little quicker to the punch there.
18.5 to play. Evan Miller's first goal of the season. Hartman, Pignon, Miller in that order. And it's 3-0 Guerin Catholic.
It's looking like last year's start. Guerin Catholic has just pressed the issue. They've slowed down a little bit in the second half, but
Let's take another look at this one, Drake.
just splits him completely, and then Alvarez has to go out there and try to slide tackle. Now, you could have argued maybe he sits back, but you can't let Miller get any closer without at least challenging him, so just a little too late for Alvarez.
I would argue that the aggressive play was the wise one, but it was just a good play by Evan Miller, the junior forward. And there might be another opportunity here for Guerin. Sousey. Give and go from Cavendish. The captain sets up his teammate. It's still in the box, and now it's sent away. Might not be out of danger, though. Mason. That ping-pongs around.
Guerin, even with a 3-point lead, or 3-goal lead, they are still playing aggressive. Still trying to put some points on the board.
We'll slow down and play. We want to thank everyone who was a part of this broadcast. Executive producer Jerry Collins, our producers Keith Myers and Riley Thomas. And Riley's about to go away to college in Arizona. Godspeed to young Riley. He's a cameraman and a producer with our webcast since its infancy a couple of years ago. Current director and producer Clay Rexroad, and cameraman Tyon Johnson, who has been fantastic. Alongside Drake Wally, our color guy, I'm Jonathan Mathis, and we have 17 more minutes to play here in the season opener.
We're going to see if Ritter here can, even just getting one goal, that's got to make you feel a lot better for, both the remainder of this game and the next one. You never know what could happen, but at Ritter, it'd be really good for them if they could just sneak a goal in here, but I have a feeling Alex Gardner is going to have something to say about that.
Here's Ramirez, and it's true. This begins similarly to last year, but Ritter very future focused. They're one of the teams that they're going to continue building. They know they're going to play Guerin again, most likely in the sectionals. So last year they lost 3-0, but they didn't show all their cards, and one will wonder if that's the case this year as well. But Guerin's looking to pile on. Demings works the far side of the field. Here's the send in by Parkis. Near post Pignon centers it up. Sousey's there, but so is the defender, and this one was cleaned out. Long ricochet, and Pignon will pull up on it.
You know, they've had a 2-3 goal lead, for the most part of the second half, and it just seems like here in the past 10 to 15 minutes, every single time Ritter gets a possession on the second half of the field, immediately there's 2 or 3 Guerin Catholic players. No Ritter players are around. Guerin Catholic is just honing in on the ball wherever it is, even late in the game. That's got to be, that's really tough to deal with if you're Ritter.
A lot of the starters back into the game for Ritter. A couple substitutions happening off camera. We're keeping you posted. Cervantes back in, as is Captain Chris Murray, excuse me. Here's Octavio. And Martin beat to the ball by Guerin defender. Not quite rinse and repeat. Pedro Rodriguez tied up. Now Octavio plays it over to Jose Chavez. Sousey sweeps it back. Chavez works over to the far side. Now it's almost complete dusk in the background. Beautiful August evening here, mid-August. Beginning of the sports season. A lot more to play. Lafioska looking to capitalize. He's got plenty of guys with him. Aiden Sousey back of the net.
It is just a scorer's fiasco out there. They are putting the pressure on both Carlos and Alvarez. The sophomore and the junior, they've had their work cut out for them. They really have.
So, Drake, last year, Guerin averaged, trivia question, how many goals a game did they average?
3.5.
Well, here we are, 4. And we have another shot of that coming up in about now.
Just gets it out, middle of the lane. Just a beautifully placed kick. Had to extend out, and Jesse Alvarez just wasn't in the right position. Got it at the top of the goal. And I believe that's 4 goals now with 4 different people.
It is.
And that's something to brag about right there.
And Guerin Catholic has really been piling it on. It took them 4 minutes for their first goal, and then after that, it took, 35, 45 minutes before the second goal was scored, and then in succession, the next three have. Oh, that was another shot.
It was very close. And
See again. Not out of the woods. Hall just wide.
You know, and it's worth saying that it says 4-0, but Ritter is a good team. I mean,
well, they're number 6 in the state.
Exactly. So you're looking at number 5 versus number 6. Guerin Catholic, they are playing a clinic to start out the season there.
And really, it just Guerin is so driven with going that next step. They felt very wronged. Not saying anyone in particular, but the team felt very wronged by what happened last year, and most of those players are back this year. There's some obvious graduations from it. Daniel Clorn's 23 goals are not back in the lineup, but this Guerin Catholic team is on a mission. They want to celebrate in Indianapolis at the end of the season with another state title, which would be their third. And if they have performances like this, where they were the aggressor the entire match, then you got to like their chances.
Yeah, they've done it from start to finish on both ends, and they've kept possession while doing it. So, you know, they're gonna come out of this stronger for sure. But, you know, maybe with a little bit more of a focus on getting the ball to Chavez, getting the ball to Murray. You know, that's 29 goals we're talking last year, of course, but it's a lot of goals, you know, and those are the two guys that make the most plays happen. So it's just more of not necessarily Ritter not being able to penetrate or not being able to make goals, but really just Guerin Catholic's defense was really, really good.
Here's Murray. He feeds it up the far side. Bernoco. And Guerin, you can see a lot about the character of the Guerin Catholic team, where there's blood in the water and they're going for it. Here's Susie. Because some teams, if you just want to back down, but not this Golden Eagles team. You can really, I think it is. You can see their drive and their purpose. Speaking of which, not giving up, Pedro Rodriguez plays it forward.
You're also feeling the rivalry. You know, you're feeling that a little bit of that, a little bit of that bad blood, if you will, from Guerin Catholic right now.
So right now, Guerin Catholic has outscored Cardinal Ritter at the moment 8-0 over the last 3 games, with still 11 minutes to play in this one. Susie. Couldn't get it back. Cranley was there. So was Demings. Still waiting. Feeds it in. La Fiosca. Can he add his name? He can't just yet, and this one is tackled away.
Well, that right there was a nice tackle.
And Cervantes.
Yeah, Cervantes gets his name mentioned again here finally in the second half. He's been a little bit of a ghost. But, man, Guerin Catholic, they are just – they're not going to stop until 0. Like, there is no let-up. It is all.
Speaking of which, another goal.
This time it was a header, beautiful cross. Looks like that was.
I believe that was Keegan Parkus. It was.
So that's now 5 goals from 5 different people, and you know Parkus doing his brother proud. Brother graduated last year, gets himself a header goal here.
Hartman, Pignon, Miller, Susie, Parkus. Most of those juniors, too.
And just the speed of this, I mean, you know, gets it in, nicely placed. And he didn't even have to jump. He just ran up to it, like, while he's running mid-motion, just knocks it in with his
noggin.
There. Yeah, there you go, his noggin. He noggins it in.
Great minds thinking alike. The old noggin. Cabotage sent Octavio Hernandez-Rangel down to the ground. Now we'll see how Ritter responds to this. You do want to see something positive. Ooh, La Fiosca, he hasn't given up on the game.
Yeah, and if you're Ritter, you know, you got nothing to lose at this point. I mean, you know, you're down 5-0. Try something. You know, take a chance, take a risk. It's been something that they haven't been able to do most of the game. Now's the time to try it. Got 10 minutes, might as well.
One sent forward on the run. It's Jose Castro, but it was cut off. Now Luis Hernandez will do the throw-in. Luis Hernandez, the starting forward, it's kind of telling. He wasn't able to do. He didn't have that many opportunities in the first half.
Yeah, and it just, it really goes back to kind of I think that at the end of the day it was the passing. There wasn't aggressive enough passing. They didn't try to push the ball downfield and take chances by kicking it a little bit harder. There were some small ground passes that just kept getting intercepted. Those lanes kept getting cut out. I mean, Guerin Catholic, at the end of the day, the best thing they did all day was cut off lanes.
Here's Murray, one of the captains. Gets it back on the give and go. Fighting through the Guerin defense. Still maintains possession, but he wasn't able to continue it. Oh, wait. Hold on now, folks. Will the Raiders get another shot? Going down was Martin. He might have suckered Michael Crandley into it. He did get the call, and Crandley believes he got duped.
Well, there you see what you hadn't seen, for most of the game. Is Cardinal Ritter, they were really getting after it there, trying to get into position, get a little closer.
Chavez. Deflected away by Bedford over Chavez's head. Murray gives chase, as does Guerin Catholic, and it's won by Guerin. Lafiosca with a head of steam down the near side of the pitch. Breaks it back, sends it in. Will another header get another goal? It's a chance there. Alvarez waiting on the ruling.
That actually was the kind of pass that's a perfect example of the kind of pass I was talking about that I wanted to see, that I think that Ritter might have been able to benefit from. With those guys flying down the sidelines is just a nice kick downfield, get a runner underneath it and set up a crosser, maybe a header.
8 minutes to play here in the second half.
So I guess that was hand in the I'm not really sure what happened there. It looks like no goal.
Definitely no goal. Soccer and Indiana SRN, especially on the Golden Eagle TV, powered by Indiana SRN. We pick it back up tomorrow evening, 7 p.m. Girls soccer, Zionsville at Guerin Catholic. Then we have Guerin girls again on Saturday as they welcome the high-powered Carmel Greyhounds. Here's a chance, speaking of which, Castro!
Boy, Castro had the one opportunity he had. It was just moving a little too fast there, a little too high.
And to wrap up our promo, Guerin Catholic boys again on next Thursday, hosting Fishers. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. You get all of Indiana SRN's content, including that near miss by Jose Castro or all 5 of the Guerin Catholic goals. You can watch that anytime you want.
I think that's really the thing that has stood out the most, Jonathan, is just the sheer volume of shots that came from Guerin Catholic. I mean, they had probably 16, 17 shots in the whole game.
I count 2 for Ritter and no corners.
Yeah, it's just been an onslaught of offense.
Speaking of which, Susi! How about another?
Wow.
6-0.
Number 12, Aiden Susi on the finish.
He got one with 14 and a half minutes to go in the game. He gets another with 6 and 47 left to go. When it rains, it pours, Drake Wally, and Ritter held out for it seemed as long as they could, but when he got to that 26-minute mark, a lot of this happened.
Yeah, it's just been a little bit of a rough second half. As you see Susi here, just, wow, great kick. And again, it's exactly where he got it the first time. He got it right there at the top of the box, and there's not much that Jesse Alvarez could do.
And he might get another chance to try to make another save if Guerin can keep the fire on. Oh, there's Susi. There's that man right in the middle of the box.
I think they're giving, Ritter is giving Guerin Catholic a few too many opportunities with one-on-one situations with the goalkeeper.
Football season on Indiana SRN begins Friday night. We have 6 games on our network, 2 on the radio, 4 on the webcast. The 2 radio games, Anderson Prep at Frontier, Mount Vernon at Noblesville. Both those games are at 7, as are all of the webcasts, and we'll see if Guerin Catholic can get another goal. That would be a very football score with 7, but they have not yet. The 4 webcast games, and this has been a growth. We had 1 webcast game 2 years ago, then 2 last year, and now we've doubled it with 4. Ron Colley at Southport, St. Joseph from South Bend plays Heritage Christian, Jennings County at Covenant Christian, and McCutcheon at Guerin Catholic. And then there's been some news on the Guerin Catholic football front. The Guerin's second game, I believe I can say this was announced on Twitter earlier today, but Guerin Catholic's second opponent, a traditional rival, Lafayette Central Catholic, had to cancel their first 2 games of the regular season, and Guerin filled in that second week date with Decatur Central, who had to fill in their section of jumble scheduled all because of pandemic-related stuff. And as a result, it'll be Guerin Catholic and McCutcheon on Friday, and then Guerin Catholic visiting Decatur Central next Friday. So you can watch all that. Tune in, indianasrn.org.
At the end of the day, sports finds a way, so that's going to be a really great game. Guerin Catholic, Decatur Central.
Speaking of really great, Guerin has looked very great as Lucas Pignon is involved in that one on the far side. Little tussle with Junior Gomez, who is also a junior in class years. Quite a symmetrical nickname. No, you get that right twice if you're a junior in high school, junior in college.
Boy, Alvarez needs to get back.
Coming up on 4 minutes to play.
Or if you're Chris McGrath, you have to be absolutely tickled to death with how your team played today. You had 5 different goal scorers, 2 of which were from Susie, who came off the bench.
Back, so you're feeling your substitutes. If you Guerin didn't have Chris McGrath, I should say, he was quite confident in Guerin's depth, and that has been on display in this game, and that's going to bode well when you're playing later in the season. They have some pretty significant opponents, and even outside of the Circle City Conference rivalries. But they go to Brownsburg on September 10th. They welcome Cathedral here to Noblesville on September 15th. They go to Carmel on the 25th and finish with Zionsville. That is not an easy slate, and that should prepare Guerin well for the 2A playoffs. And if your second unit is as strong as Guerin's appears to be, you're feeling pretty good. Yeah. Speaking of which, a little behind him.
Hey, ask yourself why that wasn't just a shot.
Oh, that's a shot. That was just a bit outside on that drive. Sailed on him.
A lot of power there with that kick.
Though he cranked it all right.
Couldn't have asked for a better performance from Guerin Catholic here. Their seniors and even underclassmen showed up here. And Croton Ridge is going to take this one, and you always learn something. You always learn something good from a loss. You always do.
Drake Wally, we'll turn you into Chris McGrath for a moment. If you're trying to find some coaching points from this game, what do you want to see better out of your team? Because, on the surface, it looked just a total domination by Guerin. But if you're the coach, you can't just go, hey, guys, that was perfect.
Well, actually, what I would say is this might sound kind of ridiculous, but capitalize better on the shot opportunities.
That's true.
Like the first half, they had about 12, 13. They only had 1 goal. I mean, 5 of their 6 came here in the second half where they really put it all together. Can't imagine if they would have capitalized more and been more accurate on their opportunities, what the score would be right now.
And we want to thank again our entire production behind this. This was a very involved process, and maybe a 7th goal. Nope. But thank our executive producer, Jerry Collins, our producers, Keith Myers and Riley Thomason, director Clay Rex Road, our cameraman, Dion Johnson, color commentary by Drake Wally, play-by-play commentary by me, Jonathan Mathis. And thank you, most importantly, our viewers who tuned in and saw this impressive performance, to say the least, by Guerin Catholic, trying to make an attack on a 3rd state title. It's been a while for Guerin. It feels like forever. But their last title was 6 years ago in 2014, and they want to erase that here in 2020.
1 minute left in the match.
60 seconds to play.
Well, they've put their conference and really all of 2A on notice here. I mean, 6-0. That's about as dominant and as decisive of a victory as you can put together.
Maybe 7. Off the head. Susi, hat trick? No, he gives it up to his teammate, Michael Crandley, into the net, and it is 7.
That time, I mean, you got to ask yourself if Aiden Susi does it all. He just got the assist there. Just dominant performance from the offense here. Now you got your 6th different goal scorer.
7-0.
Have you ever thought that this was, if you just had one guy, it's been 6 different scores.
And the most recent one looked like this.
Beautiful pass over to the left. Dribbles just a little bit. High kick, and it just goes right off the hands.
I think that was a 3-toucher.
Yeah, it just goes right off the hands of Jesse Alvarez. He struggled a little bit coming into the game here. But, both goalies have had a lot of work thrown their way in this one.
Guerin Catholic 7 goals in the final 25.5 minutes of this match. And they almost got another with 17 seconds to play. Guerin literally playing to the final whistle. 10 seconds to go and 10 seconds left in this opening broadcast of the season. Thank you for joining us, everybody. Drake, it's been a pleasure. Guerin Catholic, it was fun for them. Guerin Catholic hammers Cardinal Ritter 7-0 on the first broadcast of the year here on the Golden Eagle TV, powered by Indiana SRN.
Two by Susi and one by Cranley. Final time I will mention the set of keys up here to the Honda minivan. If you are missing keys to your Honda Odyssey, please come up to the press box.